Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. It took me a long time to even sound recognizable talking in English with my special accent. I converted to Islam 6 years ago. I get a lot of emails from people who are new to Islam where they share their stories with me. I want to share one with you. I got an email from a sister. She was describing her first visit to the masjid after converting to Islam. She dresses, with the best hijab that she can come up with, and she takes all the courage that she has in order to get there. She finds the masjid, she goes there, and walks up to the building, the obvious main entrance of the building, and is about to step in, and a brother is like, "Sister! Sister!" And she turns because she's like so embarrassed, and he's like, "You have to step in with your right foot." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So she steps with her right foot. And she goes inside, and another brother comes running up to her. "Sister, sister, go that way. This is not the sister's entrance." So she says, "Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry. Where do I go?" "That way, sister." So she exits the mosque and goes around to the less appealing sister's entrance, which is muddy and ugly compared to the main entrance. So she goes inside the sister's entrance, and she's like, "Okay, I'm here. I'm inside," with her right foot. And the prayer is about to begin, so she goes over and she readies herself to do the first prayer she's ever done in a masjid, the first prayer she's ever done in congregation with anyone else besides just praying in her home by herself. After the prayer, an elderly woman approaches her, very concerned, and tells her, "Your prayer will not be accepted. Let me show you something. You can't put your arms like this. You need to bend your elbows. They need to be like this. You need to make sure you put your head down the right way. And what is this? You need to fix your hijab because I can see some of your hair up there. And why aren't you wearing socks?" And endless list of why her prayer is not being accepted. None of it having to do with the fact that she's praying from her heart, that she came there, that she had the guts to come there. And she leaves the mosque in tears, thinking that nothing is going to be accepted that she just did, and horrified by how she's embarrassed herself, that she maybe God is ashamed of what she's done, maybe she didn't do things the right way. And then she realizes that the thing she was most worried about going to the mosque was how many times she practiced how to say wa alaikum salam to her people that saw her, so she could say it perfectly, so she would feel accepted. But she remembers she didn't have to say that because no one bothered to say assalamu alaikum to her. This is her first visit and last visit, she tells me, last visit to a masjid. So many times we get new Muslims like me, new people, they come to Islam, they've read the Quran, they've read the Hadith, they're really excited, they see a lot of inspirational videos, some of which I try to produce, to make people feel like this is the right way. And then they come and they meet all the Muslims, and then they think, what did I do? They come to the masjid, they think, why am I here? Why did I do this? Yusuf Islam himself said if he would have met the Muslims before he found Islam, he would have never converted to Islam. Now, I'm a Muslim. I deem myself as successful at converting to Islam. After 6 years, I feel comfortable in a masjid now because I've adapted to it. I've learned that it's full of people from all over the world. It's definitely not a church, okay? A lot of the people who convert to Islam, the majority, are women. The majority used to be Christian. The majority, the last place of worship they attended was a church. So they come to the masjid with that comparison. Have any of you visited a church? Okay, how does it compare? Blows us away. We Muslims, the fastest growing religion, okay, number 2 religion in the U.S., should be a powerhouse. We should be the one toting the way for how to represent a place to worship God. a place where people can come and learn about Islam, a place where we could give them a tour and make them feel welcome, all of these things. I give tours at masjids to people who are from colleges, to people who are from other places that are not Muslims. And sometimes I have to sit and make excuses for this, excuses for that. I'm sorry about the bathroom. I'm sorry about the guy who made a comment about homosexuals. You have a homosexual student in your group. All of these things, excuses that I have to make to people. So my theory is, after decades of American Muslims in existence, the masjid is not going to change. It's full of people who are not going to change. It's full of people going there that are not going to change. So for new Muslims, why don't we have a place to help filter you, to help you transition into Islam that is outside of the masjid? A place where you don't have to explain anything. You don't have to prepare them to enter into a third world country when they come in. You have a place that seems normal to them. Normal to people because we live in America, because things are a certain way here. Why don't we have a place that's a certain way for new Muslims to transition into Islam, where we can help them to feel comfortable at the masjid? I love going to the masjid. Honestly, I wouldn't change it. That is what it is, The people are who they are. I love them for who they are. But that's because I've been doing this for 6 years. So I'm comfortable there. But new people are not. If we want to keep our new Muslims, and we're not going to change, obviously, we need to have a place to help filter them through, okay? We have groups, a lot of them have started on social media that are trying to aid new Muslims in the DFW area. I'm sure there's a lot better groups nationwide that are going on, but one of the groups that started a few years ago was the New Muslim Resource Center. They've kind of faded out. They were a powerhouse at one time, and now we have the Medina Network. You can find them on Facebook, but it is a group of converts to Islam who are helping other converts to Islam with their transitions. They are the support group for them. Instead of expecting the mosque to provide what you need besides a place to pray or a place to worship, we're expecting the people who have been successful at converting to Islam to help new people become successful. Successful means you came to Islam and you didn't leave. Came to Islam, if you put on the hijab, you didn't take it off later. Came to Islam and then you got married and something happened with your marriage, you're still a Muslim after that. That's successful. Successful it's not about what kind of job you have or anything. You're just still a Muslim. That's all we want. We want people to be successful, especially in our community, that you come to Islam and you stay a Muslim. So my idea is, when people ask me, well, what can we do at the mosque to change things? I say, you know what? Old news. That's old news. I'm not going to keep asking the masjid to do this or do that or have this or have that. We'll just do it ourselves. Take care of our own people. Help our own people to be comfortable in this religion so that they can be confident, and when they go to the masjid, they feel fine. They feel welcome. They don't need you to say Assalamu alaikum to them. They're already confident in the faith that they've found. Okay, this is my thoughts on this issue. I also have a social group called Sisters by Choice on Facebook that is for new Muslims, and the only people allowed in that group are new Muslims. So just giving people the ability to feel comfortable to talk about their struggles, their transitions, the stories that you may not understand if you're a born Muslim. I finished 1 minute early, so thank you very much for having me. Thank you for inviting me.